And we're live. Hey guys, it's Heather with Head in the Cloud, and this is Andres.
with Charles and Sillas. And welcome back to Real Talk with Heather and Andres.
Oh, it doesn't show my thing right when I do that. There we go. Okay. Hey guys, today we're going to get into kind of recapping yesterday and then some of our upcoming ideas and adventures that we're going to be on to close out the year. We are Zooming live. Well, we're not Zooming live. We're streaming live today on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Don't forget to scan our QR code if you want to book an appointment with us, or you can visit our website, which is scrolling along the bottom, and book an appointment with us or join our exclusive community just for real estate agents.
Absolutely. And man, I wanted to recap on what we talked about on Tuesday with Ilko and Propi. I thought it was for real estate agents, great insight into a different way to market their properties, right? With that marketplace that they offers, and and revolutionizing the industry with the blockchain for the title and also helping buyers, uh, the acquisition of property using bitcoins, cryptocurrency, in that essence, where they're facilitating the whole transaction for both buyers and sellers. So I thought it was great information, a great company, walking, nowadays with the AI use of on their system. I thought it was a great way to be able to connect with agents and also help agents in so many ways. What were your takeaways from that Tuesday call?
It's an amazing opportunity for agents, especially in the changing market, because we really are in different times now. Ever since COVID, where things have shifted, more people are staying home, more people are using technology. AI is a bigger thing than it was before. And we're kind of in a situation now where if you're not adapting to the new world that we're entering, you're going to be left kind of by the wayside if you don't have the tools, the technology to keep up with the people that do have the tools and the technology. And then right now, as far as listings, if you're a listing agent, you have several listings that are most likely sitting on the market longer than you would want them to be there. And with this, it gives a whole new audience and a whole new exposure to your listing that you wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah, absolutely. And for as an agent, just to be able to, learn the content of what they're doing and how they're helping, uh, using smart contracts and helping buyers and sellers. Not only are you getting better in your field, but you're also helping, educating those buyers and sellers, and exposing and putting that property in front of more people and more qualified buyers, if you have a listing. So I think it's incredible opportunity to plug in, something that is part of the industry, right? We have to face it. This is here. Uh, Changes have been coming for the past few years, and just like we talked a few weeks ago, um, where you had to pick up the keys for every properties in your office. This is part of the new thing coming up. So to be able to plug in and continue to learn and most importantly help your clients. Uh, so I think it's a great way to and a great tool for agents to be able to plug in and use to their advantage. Yeah.
It's interesting because right before we did right before we went live right now, I did a search on the top 10 YouTube searches made by real estate agents. And the number one was real estate marketing ideas slash strategies. And it says agents are always looking for new tactics, lead gen videos, social media content ideas, etc. And how true is that? And it falls right in line with what we're talking about. Agents are trying new avenues because the old tactics aren't working like they used to.
Yeah, what's just about everybody spend a certain number of times on their phones and social medias, and you have to adapt the way you're getting new business and the way you put your business up there, right? Especially on the real estate marketplace, you want to reach the most people you can, and continuously innovate new ideas, videos. I see so many videos. People are so creative nowadays with the videos that they're putting out there. It's fun to watch. As an agent, I was talking to my wife about it. I gotta find something. I gotta find something, but something unique within that space. And trust me, I'm not someone to be creating video content, but yet here I am today, right? I never saw myself doing this type of work, but you have to get out of your comfort zone and be able to make this content and be able to reach the audience, be able to connect to the audience.
You have to find yourself in a position that you wouldn't have thought you would ever be in to be successful these days. It's like that saying, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. And that's very, very true. You can't keep banging your head against the wall and thinking that that's going to somehow produce something when it hasn't so far. When I was in real estate school, never once did they say, you're going to need to know how to use social media. You're going to need to make content. You're going to need to be a social media manager and be able to handle your content planner. That was not a chapter in my book of real estate school. Not at all.
No, it's funny you mentioned that because I took classes for real estate back in San Diego, right, at the community college, and I always had an interest in real estate. So I took my first class in real estate one on one about 10 years ago. No kidding, and this is how why mindset is so important, right? Because I always wanted to take and be in the real estate space. I took the first class 10 years ago, didn't follow through with it. Like after that, I shifted to just business admin. I took several classes, one or two classes, one class per semester, or one class every other semester. And it wasn't until like 6 years later that I took my next real estate class. And then probably right before I moved here 2 years ago, 2 years prior to that, I would say 4 years ago, I took the other remaining class to get my real estate license. And it wasn't until a month before I moved to Alabama that I took my exam in California and passed the exam and then got my license here in Alabama as well. But not being in the right mindset of being insecure, this is what I wanted to do because I love the logistics space. I love the supply and logistics space, and I was very comfortable in that space back in San Diego. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do real estate, but I also understood that getting into real estate meant I need to be in front of people. I need to be making phone calls. I need to talk to people. I need to be in social media. I need to put myself out there, which is something that I wasn't comfortable with. And that mindset just hold me back so many years from taking the classes that I need to take and getting my license. It was until I decided, okay, I'm done with this. I gotta put myself out there. I don't care what happens. Let's just do it. And here I am today. But yeah, social media, talking to people is a big part of it. And in the classes, it's funny. Some of the teachers went through some of the details on. Okay, you need to be able to use these type of tools to stage your property online. There's this company give us a lot of resources. But again, me being uncomfortable in the space was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So I still have a notebook with all those resources somewhere. I gotta find that and look it up. But not being in that mind space and understanding that okay, I need to be out here just held me back for so long. So
And I know
interesting.
a common theme of what we talk about is fear holding people back. And it really does. Fear can be very crippling. Self-doubt can be very crippling, and it holds us back from achieving the things that we're fully capable of achieving. We're just afraid that we won't and we'll fail, and then people will know that we failed. And I think that's what the big thing that holds people back is that fear of failure. And it's funny you were saying how it was like a years in the making for you to become an agent. I feel like that's a very common story for agents, that they've always wanted to be an agent, but for whatever reason they didn't do it, or they went to the school and then they didn't follow up, and then finally they become the agent. But there's not that many people that, I mean, there are some, but there's not that many people that are turn 18 and immediately get their license and have this great real estate career. It's always I always wanted to be an agent. And when I talk to people too that are thinking about becoming an agent, that's what they say. I've always wanted to, I've always thought about it, but I don't know if I'd be good at it.
Yeah, like if you don't have the family history that uh, the people that become an agent at 18 is people probably that they're driven, they know what they want, they go for it, right? They know exactly what they want. They're comfortable in the space, and most of all, they know who they are, right? Or they have also been on that space, whether it's with their parents, family related, close family, that have, you know, they've grew up having those conversations, seeing in that field. Um, People like me who I have nothing whatsoever around me regarding real estate, just reading books here and there and understanding, okay, this is, I'm fascinated by this. I want to learn more. I want to dive into that. Then there comes the part of fear. Like, okay, one, if I don't know who I am, and I've asked myself that question a number of times, right? Uh, I'm not comfortable doing certain things. I'm gonna doubt myself. I'm gonna push myself away from doing the things I need to do to get to this point today. And that's exactly what I did. Every time it was time for me to make a decision on taking the class and moving forward, I found a number of excuses of not doing that. Because I knew once I get that, I was going to put myself in a very uncomfortable situation, and I was afraid of that. And all boils down to ego. Something one of my mentors said is it's just your ego talking. Your ego gets in front of you, and you're not moving forward. Just the other day, he called me and said, "Hey, how many you have pending?" And I said, "Oh, no, no." He's like, "No, how many you have? You either have zero, you have one, or two, three, or four. You have zero? Okay." I'm like, "Yeah, I have zero." "Oh, how many buyer's agreement or listing agreement you have?" "Oh, I'm talking to someone. That means zero. Stop talking with your ego. Just tell me what it is." And I just tell me what it is. We're in a comfortable space. Just tell it how it is, and I'm here, and I'm comfortable saying that here because it's the honest truth. Uh, we don't make certain action. We don't take certain action, and it's all based because of our ego. Like, call your damn leads, right? We don't call the leads because of ego. We don't want to make that phone call. We are afraid of rejection, or make tons of excuses on not making that phone call. I don't have a list in front of me. Make a list. You know where to find the people. Make a list. Make the phone call. Uh, it's just getting over ourselves, and understanding ourselves first and foremost, right?
And there's so many like coaches, brokers that push that make your calls, make your calls, make your calls, make your calls. And why, yes, I'm 100% agree. You're not going to get the business unless you do that. You also do have to know, like you said, how to get that list. Where do you get that list from? How do you have these people to call? And everybody has numbers in their phone. Everybody has their phone. Everybody has numbers. Maybe one number. You may have 1,000 contacts in your phone. You have numbers to call, and those numbers can give you more numbers. You just have to make those calls.
Yeah. One way to do that is there's 52 weeks in the year, right? Um, and this is my coach taught me this: 52 weeks in the year, 26 letter in the alphabet. Look at the number in your context. Do one letter a week. One letter a week from your context. Call somebody every day from that letter. The next week you go through the B's and call all your B's, and you will get through your context. So, depending on what business you're in, just just make it happen.
I think that's great. I know that our back when I was married, the real estate agent we used, which was the one my sponsor ended up being my intro into real estate and the brokerage that I worked for. I love her; she's a great lady. And the reason why she was such a good agent and stuck out afterwards, and I reached out to her, was because she never was pushy. She always made us feel like we were very important, like what we were choosing was a big decision. And then after the fact, there was all these little extras. Like on the kids' birthdays, they got cards and cookie club thing where we got to go get a cookie. On Pie Day, she brought us over a pie. On me and my ex-husband's birthday, she would send gift cards. Holidays, we would always get like a little card from her, a gift card or something. And it wasn't a lot. It was like $5, $10 here or there, but just something sweet. I think they did pumpkins one time. She had an event on Halloween, not on Halloween, but by Halloween, and the kids went and got to get a pumpkin. So that was cool. That was our pumpkin for that year. We didn't have to go buy a pumpkin because each of our kids got a huge pumpkin. So just little things like that, those touches throughout the years make a huge impact on people.
It does. It definitely does. I always treat the one way I looked at it is treating people the way I want to be treated, right? Whether it's making a phone call, having a conversation, whether it's real estate, just in general. Every time I call in someone, I'm gonna treat that call the way I want to be treated. So just being respectful, other people's space. One thing I was listening to an interview by Mel Robbins on her podcast. I listened to one yesterday about I forgot his name. A doctor. She interviewed two doctors I watched over the past 2 days, and one of the things I took away from that is, our experiences as a kid shaped us into who we are to a day, to some extent, and some of the traumas that we carry, right?
Right.
And oftentimes, based on our experiences, we are often judging other people or anticipating how other people are going to react without understanding that they have also gone through some things. And we have to put ourselves in a position where it's a blank canvas. Just approach people by who they are, by who you see in front of them, and let the conversation, you know, allow it to open and really understand where they are at and what their mindset is without prejudging anyone's or thinking that they're gonna react in a certain way because of how you are doing. Just be open to having a conversation and learning from one another. It's,
Do you have any real life example or stories of any phone calls or clients that went like haywire crazy that you were not expecting it to go in that direction?
well, a few months ago, I called someone just to see to mention, and you know which one I mentioned, uh, just to introduce myself and what we do at the company, right? And the person just completely backfire and say, "Hey, um, go back to your country, f this, fuck that, go back in your canoe." And I'm like, I really just say, "Hey, my name is Andres. I'm calling from. How are you doing today?" Right? And he just went off and saying so kinds of things, and I just simply said, "You have a great day," and I laughed my way out because I don't know what his problem was. I don't know what kind of day he was. Obviously, it wasn't a great day. But it wasn't. I wasn't in a position to judge him because of that. He might be a great person. He incredible work out there. But if you get a hold of someone at the wrong time, they're gonna take it out on you. You know.
But you handled that so well. Like
I just
you handled it like you were so graceful with it, and you handled it way better than I would have handled it. You did a really good job.
but that's the thing. Oftentimes we're gonna make a call and we stop ourselves making a call because we're taking it personal.
Yeah.
We taking it personal before we even make the phone call. And we don't even get to that point of having a conversation. I could call that guy the next day and it could be the sweetest person there is. It's just a matter of the moment and the circumstance. And I wasn't in a place. I'm not in a place to judge anyone just from one conversation. Uh, but I just let it be. You know, there are times I call someone. I called a client one time, and she just went off in regarding her situation, present situation, which she was not doing well, and she just went off, and I felt like I was a therapist at the time, and I didn't want to cut her off, so I just listened. I just sat there and I listened, and I let her vent. And it went from a 2 minute, hey, how you doing, how things been, to a 35 minutes sit down therapy section. And I was just like, it's just one of those things. But I wasn't there to prejudge more. So you just have to be able to adapt. I say you have to be able to adapt from one conversation to the next, no matter how it is.
That's true. And that's what it's about. It's about being that person that can be there for your clients, for other agents too. If you do what we do, be there for other agents, deal with what they're you've dealt with all of these things before. Now you're having to help somebody else walk through that. But what you said earlier is right too. You don't know what the other person is going through in their life. Everybody has their side they present for the world. They have the side they present for social media. And then there's the side that's, really going on. And most of the time when you ask people like, hey, how you going? What's going on? How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. Busy, working. Those are the answers we get. But what's really going on in their life behind the scenes is a completely different story. And we don't know that until sometimes, unfortunately, it just comes out because you called at the wrong damn time and they just unleash it.
Like, yeah, it really is. A lot of time people throw smoke screen, right? How are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing excellent. No, how are you really doing? Well, you know what? Uh, Not so great. Got this that going on. I got that going on. I got this going on. And when you start putting all the pieces together, man, this person's falling apart.
If you think about it like this. So if you're an agent, you're talking to other agents and they're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm good. I've got, however many listings and they're all on the market. So life is good because I've got, 5, 6 listings. The reality of that situation is the market that we're in right now, they're not flying off the market. They're sitting there for a little bit. So they probably have sellers that are getting anxious. They're getting worried that they're harassing them every day. Like, hey, why isn't my house selling? Why isn't my house selling? We didn't get any showing requests today. They've got to worry about that. They've got to worry about keeping those, getting them sold before they expire, but also not having to drop the prices too low because then that's not going to be good for their seller, but they want to make sure they attract buyers. So just because it seems like they may be in a great position doesn't necessarily mean they are. Because what happens if the listings don't sell? You could have 20
Yeah.
listings, but if they don't sell, that doesn't do you any good.
How much work are you putting in to get those, to sustain that, to keep everyone happy, to try to sell those properties? Uh, People just see the surface level. Oh, you got 20 listings, it's doing great. That's all people see, you
Yep.
know. And yesterday I was asked on the What's Working Wednesday by Sean, hey, are you confident enough to make the phone calls? And my response to that was like, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would say no. I don't want to make the phone call. Um, and I answered that. Why haven't you made the phone call? I just simply haven't. The short answer to that is I simply haven't. Uh, the long-winded answer to that is I haven't made a list. I haven't set up the time on the calendar to make the phone call. But I feel like I'm confident enough to make the phone call once because I talked to a number of agents who I see how they handle conversations. I listen to some of the conversation. We do some of the training to how we can handle certain situations better, how to address some of the objections before they even come up, right? We've been working on all these areas around making the conversations that I feel confident enough to make any conversation, make any phone call because one, I'm not taking it personal. I'm simply calling to see if there's anything I can do to help bring some value to the current situation. And if I get a no, I'm moving to the next phone call. Simple as that. If they're open to having a conversation, then perfect. We can dive deeper into how I can help that individual. But aside from that, it's learning to. I have learned over the past year to not take that personal and detach to some extent, right? Because you also want to be present in that conversation, and given the conversation outcome, then you can move on just as fast as the next one. Uh, and it's just a matter of just making it happen, just doing it. It's just got to do it.
Just do it. Like
Yeah,
Nike.
Nike. I'm gonna change that to call you damn it. Okay, not just do it. Then
Call
we
your
get Nike.
like,
Nike chasing us just for saying that.
right? Oops, okay. Take that out.
Just call your damn leads.
Be like hashtag call your family.
Yeah, that's better. But I think it's a mindset. I think we see that quite often. Um, Not getting into real estate space and not having the productivity you want to have. Um, I think it's based mainly because you hold yourself back. Yeah, it's a very competitive industry, but there's so much fun that you can have with it. It's so much fun when you collaborate and you help one another. So I think that's the beauty of it. And some places don't see it like that.
And some of these agents are so creative with their videos. I see all kinds of really cool listing videos, drone footage, transition videos. They do amazing jobs with social media. And then you see those, and that can be a little bit intimidating because you're like, okay, well, my video isn't going to look anything like that video because I don't have the tools that they have. I don't know what they're using. Obviously, there's some kind of wizard when it comes to video editing, but you just got to take whatever you have and post it. It doesn't matter. Just
But
post what you have, work with what you have to work with, and then get some closings, buy some tools, and make your videos too.
that's exactly it. What you said. My video, you made it about yourself. It's about the house. It's about the content you're putting out there. It's not gonna be perfect, but you just gotta put it out there and stop making it about you and how you can look a certain way and how you want to act a certain way. Trust me, I say that all the time. I'm like, I look at my video, I'm like, this shit not gonna work. Like I can't even understand myself. Am I speaking Spanglish, English? What am I speaking here? And I do that all the time, and I'm like, okay, that's not gonna go. So I just got to start putting it out there. So, but now you may start seeing some videos of me with some music. Now you're talking my language. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So that's just who I am. I gotta have some music, and then things happen.
We need to work on our outro and get some music, and you can dance us out of the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember where it was. There was a group I was in that they played music and everybody had to dance when the training started. And for the life of me right now, I can't remember whose training it was. But you would join the training, and then like they would say their announcements, and then like okay, and they'd play the music, and then everybody had to like dance for a second to get pumped up to do the training, I guess, or whatever. And that was pretty cool.
See,
I
that
know
would
some
be
people did not like it, but it was pretty cool. I thought it was fun.
that would be something I will have on a seminar that I put together at some point. Like I gotta have some music to get in and get everybody in the mood of what's gonna go down. So, but I think it's fun. It just relaxes you. It just for me, it just takes me away, clears my head, get into the mood, and make it happen.
Make it happen. Call your damn leads.
See, I need to get some shirts with that.
Even if you have to start small, if you're just like, I can only do 5 phone calls today. I can call 5 people today. And let me clarify that. That's not calling 5 numbers and then being like, whew, I'm done. It's speaking to 5 people. 5 people. It takes however many phone calls to talk to 5 people. Now, those people could hang up on you. Those people could buy a house with you. sell a house with you. It doesn't matter as long as you get those people on the phone. Because if you're just making 5 phone calls, you can make 5 phone calls in a row and nobody answer, and then be like, "Whew, done, made my quota for the day." But did you really?
That happens. That happens quite often. Oh, I made a phone call. It rang twice. I hang up. Good to go. Hey,
It's
some
like that
people
meme.
let
Don't pick up. Don't pick up. Don't pick up.
seriously. Some people let it ring 4 times and then they pick it up. So you missed out an opportunity. Some people call twice. Hey, they may be away on the other side of the room. They didn't get a chance to pick up. Call them back. Now they're right in front of the phone.
So I text. I don't. I rarely do the double call, but I'll do a call and text. So if I call, leave a voicemail, I'll send a text, and I'm like, "Hey, this is Heather. I just left you a voicemail," and then blah 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 with whatever I was calling for. So they got a text and they got the voicemail. Um, I have done the double call, but I don't typically do that as like a standard practice. But I do see the benefit of doing that. Um, it's just what works for you. As long as you're making the calls, that's step one, picking up the phone.
Yeah, picking up the phone, have conversations. It will happen. Things will happen.
Speaking of phone, it reminded me the other day with my kids, we were talking, and when we were younger and you would pretend you had a phone call, you would be like, "Hello," like this, and this is how you would pretend to have a phone call. Now, how you pretend to have a phone call is like this.
Hello, how you doing? No, seriously. But before we will pretend to have a phone call. Now people don't even want to role play those conversations when they work in a field that they actually have to make the phone calls. It's interesting. When you have nothing to do with the business of making phone calls, you want to use some practice of phone. When you actually do, you do not want to do it or even practice role play to get better. It's, the psychology of it is interesting.
That's very true.
You know, it's like, come on, let's make it happen. Let's practice. Let's get better at it. Get in the habit of at least trying once a day. No, it's all good. I make the phone call sometimes. I don't get it. So I'm gonna do some research on that and see what I can find.
Well, Andres, I know we were going to try to keep the Thursday calls a little bit shorter podcasts. I'm used to being on like the 1 o'clocks. The podcast a little bit shorter than our special guest Tuesday shows. Is there, before we kind of wrap up, is there anything you wanted to recap about last week or today? Anything you wanted to touch on that we haven't hit on yet today?
Well, I think the topic on Tuesday with property.com, I know we kept it on a surface level as far as what property does as a title company and helping agents reach a larger audience with their marketplace and being able to help buyers and sellers with the acquisition or using cryptocurrency tokenization for titles. So that's something we want to dive into a little bit further in another episode. Just focus on the crypto part of it and tokenization and what that does for the business and for buyers aligned because the blockchain aspect of title and escrow is very intriguing, very fascinating, and I think it's going to be a game changer. In the long run, it's going to save buyers even more money. So we want to dive into that on another episode. Uh, so I'm excited for that. So if you guys, the audience, have anything in particular you want to talk about, you want us to dive into with Propi next, let us know. We're happy to put that out here and sit down with Oakland and have another conversation based on that to provide you guys more insight into how that works. And again, you can use the referral link on the episode to plug in into them, sign up, and uh, if you want an introduction, let us know. We can make that happen as well.
Definitely make that happen, guys. And as always, it's still not giving me mine. Let's see if we can do it this way. Nope, it's still not going to work. Oh, well. Well, Don't forget, guys, to go to our website. You can follow us there on all of our social media channels. If you want to be a guest on Real Talk and share what you have to offer on our platform, we would love you to have you do that as well. Same thing, go to our website where you can apply to be a guest on our show. And then obviously, if you want to book with us, you can book an appointment with either me or Andres, and we can help you strategize your business, get you some automated tools, and get you up there so you can start scaling and growing your business the way you want it to be. Fully functional with automations. Right, Andres?
Absolutely. And if you're looking for continuing education classes for your real estate, check out the link on our website, realtalkha.live. And as well, if interested in getting in the field, use the same link for up to 40% off on the classes online with the CE shop. So take a look. If you have any questions, particularly um, regarding the field, brokerage, anything pertaining to the automations, CRMs, real estate, let us know. Lead gen, let us know. We're happy to help.
Yep. I think that's going to be it for us this time, guys. Don't forget to scan the QR code to book with us, and we will see you guys on the next one.
All right. Take
Bye,
care,
guys.
everyone.